if you want to support the show, any of the shows, either this or whichever show, I'm not on right now because it's just a blanket ad for all of them, and the website, you can go to bewareofspoilers.com. In the description for any of the episodes of Beware of Spoilers, there is the option to donate. If you don't want to donate that way, you can donate directly through the website. We do have that, mwpnews.com. And if you don't want to support that way, then going to mwpnews.com will help out because we have ads there. We don't want to keep it, you know, where there's a lot of ads. There's a few ads. But the point is, we want to make it so that way, we can sustain this for the long term. If people donate, we're never going to paywall anything, I don't think, as of right now. But you know, if people start donating, we'll start doing cooler and cooler stuff. Like donations are how we get to cover stuff like Tribeca and other, film festivals. And, we may be able to bring on more people to help out. So if you want to help out the show and you want more content from us, by all means, even just going and giving us a 5-star rating on Spotify helps out a lot. But that's it. That's the only ad we'll have on the podcast ever. But here's whatever podcast you're going to be listening to. Good morning and welcome to 30 Minute Reviews. I am Adam. On this Monday morning, we're here to talk about Twister, a movie that I just saw for the first time. It was kind of background radiation for a good amount of my life, if I'm being completely honest, because I've never watched the movie, but I remember seeing it as a kid all around Blockbuster and stuff like that, and it never was something that I was like, oh, let me, well, I mean, granted, I was also like 5 years old. The movie came out in '96, so I was 2 when it came out, so it wasn't exactly something on my radar if it didn't have a giant purple dinosaur in it or, varying degrees of Muppets. I was not super interested in the movie, but regardless, I've now finally watched it with Twister. Twister is coming out later this week. We're going to be talking about it on Beware of Spoilers on Wednesday evening. Um, but I did finally watch this movie, and I think one of the things that I really, I think that for those who don't know what Twister is, the basic premise is you have this girl whose father died as a result of an F5 tornado. She goes out to be a storm chaser, and she is working with Bill Paxton and a few others. Their goal is to figure out how to properly understand what a tornado can and can't do. That way, they can, what's it called? They can create an early warning system. So they have this system where they're going to send out these, what's it called? These little sensors into the tornado and let them, track what's going on in there. That way they can create this early warning system with the intent that they can, in the future, better design, an early warning system. That's the goal of this movie. And I think that, like, that's a pretty straightforward thing. And they go out, there's these bad guys. I mean, bad guys, they're just, like, storm chasers who are out there for the glory. And, that's what it is. Um, the movie does very clearly just follow the general screenwriting structure. If you've ever read a book about screenwriting or took a class on screenwriting, you kind of know what the general format of a screenplay is because there are certain benchmarks on the outline that you should be hitting, and this movie does hit all of them. I think it is handled, pretty well. Obviously, what you're here for is the effects, and this is a disaster porn movie. Let's not make two bones about it. That's what this is. We're here to watch shit get blown up. We're here to watch with a moderately interesting human story at the core. That's all these movies are. We've seen Independence Day, we've seen Geostorm, we've seen Day After Tomorrow. Man versus nature. Man can't beat nature 9 times out of 10. Man is here to survive. That's the goal here. Um, and if we can get people to care about them while they're trying to survive, then so be it. But that's where we are. Um, I enjoyed the movie for what it is. I think that the practical effects hold up pretty well. I think there is an issue when it comes to some of the CGI stuff, as is the case with a lot of movies um, from this era where they're trying to do big budget CGI. Like this is a movie produced by Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Spielberg, so they do have the budget and the money behind ILM behind them um, to make this something memorable. But I do think that they do like the CGI stuff. A lot of times doesn't work. I'm thinking in particular of the kind of the midpoint of the exact midpoint of the movie where they're when the sensors all fall off the back of the truck and you see a tornado in the distance. I'm like that doesn't look great. But I think anytime they're doing stuff reliably, practically, I think it does look pretty good and it does still hold up very well. Um, I enjoyed the performances of a lot of the actors. Did not get to see what's his name, the doctor from Lost, Faraday. Was not expecting Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, and those are all nice little benefits here. Um, what else I want to say about? I don't really have a ton to talk about with this movie. I think that for the most part it holds up. I think that you know I think the father's death in the beginning was the thing that kind of threw me because it's like it's not that I wasn't expecting him to die. I was expecting someone to die in that scene, but I was not expecting the father to die in such a weird way. I think that scene could have been better handled, um, where it's like, oh, he's holding the door shut. Okay, now the door gets ripped off. Okay, and now he's pulled out into the tornado. Okay, but everyone beneath was fine anyway, so that was all for nothing. Like you still have the father's death be kind of the inciting incident for Helen Hunt's character and be her drive through the movie. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. The problem that I have is the way that it's handled is so kind of weird that you're like, oh well, there's a million other ways this could have gone you know, without him dying the way in the scenario they set up. Um, and it's very clear that this is a character dying for the sake of dying to push Helen Hunt forward, which I mean, cool, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think they do a great job with the destruction. Like the house's destruction at the end of the movie is very well handled. Um, and I think that the whole scene when they're in the barn, I think it is, when the tornado tears through the drive-through, that all looks very good. That said, I watched the movie last night. Could not tell you a single character name. I know the actors. I know Bill Paxton. I know Jerry, whatever her name is, from Still Standing. I know who in my head. I don't know why, but I keep thinking is Courtney Cox from Friends, or specifically from Scream. But it is what it is. I mean, it's because they're both sitcom stars, and we're in these movies. But and it's around the same time. I would say because when we do this, we use our traditional rating scale. And for those of you who are new on YouTube, welcome. Our traditional rating scale is 5 stars. We act like the movie came out today. If the movie were to come out today, what would we recommend it? We would say 5 stars is go rush out, see it in the theater immediately. 4 stars, go see it in the theater, but wait until it hits. But wait until it's like a matinee or something. 3 stars, wait for it to hit streaming, but it's worth picking up a streaming service if you don't already have it. 2 stars, wait for it to streaming, but I would say wait for it to hit one that you already have. So if you have Netflix already and it comes to Netflix, watch it there. If you have Max and it comes to Max, watch it there. 1 star, wait for it to hit something like TBS where you can watch it for free with your cable subscription. And then no stars is don't even bother watching it at all. This is a 4 star movie, I think. I think it is utterly forgettable by and large. Um, but I think that enough of the disaster moments work. Um, and that will be the part that sticks with me is the visuals and how well the visuals have aged. So I think this is a 4, where if you get the chance to watch it in the theater, I would recommend it. I wouldn't say rush out to see it opening day. We will see if Twisters is any better, because we'll be seeing Twisters later this week. But until then, over and beware of spoilers. Have a great rest of your week.